Scholars, researchers and enthusiasts of the supernatural have their own definitions for the terms and words used to describe a range of paranormal entities and phenomena. Ghost is a word that is often used interchangeably with the definition of a conscious disembodied spirit and that of an unconscious disembodied spirit. A ghost that is seen in the form of an unconscious spirit is said to be an echo of past events. The spirit or spirits will replay events from their lives without interacting with the timeline of the witness. This phenomenon can be something which occurs just once, such as the hearing of a disembodied voice or sound, or it can be something that occurs regularly, like the appearances of drably dressed women who swish their way spookily down the corridors and stairways of stately homes. One account of a residual haunting comes from two girls in 1934 who were playing in the ruins of a Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. One of the girls recalls, "I can still see him. He looked so real. He had rosy smiling face and grey hair. He was dressed in buckled shoes, knee-length stockings and riding breeches, open neck shirt with the sleeves rolled up and an apron. Also, he carried a tray full of tankards. He looked like an old-fashioned innkeeper or servant. As my friend and I talked about it, we realised he must have been a ghost, and we decided not to tell anyone in case they made fun of us." The ghostly servant was as real to those two girls as they were to each other, but to the servant, he saw nothing but his duties. Why didn't he see or sense them as they did him? Many researchers of this phenomenon put forward that this type of ghost is an event that's known as stone tape or place memory. Place memory occurs when everyday events or sudden and unhappy occurrences are imprinted into the materials of a building. These imprints are then recorded into the fabric of the environment and later released as a type of living video. The theories for how a recording could occur, how it's released, are vague, and justifiably so, because the medium and the conditions for what kind of events become recorded are unknown. The conditions and environments and their replayed events are inconsistent with any logical form with known physics. Therefore, there is no way to define the phenomena other than some form of hallucination or mental stimulation. So what is occurring here when we, as the living, witness this phenomena? Is it merely a recording of a past event, or is the soul doomed to eternally follow the same path? Another account of a repeated haunting comes from Woodrow in Buckinghamshire, and it tells the story of Lady Helena Stanhope. Lady Helena Stanhope was courting Sir Bostock, to whom no respect was given by Lady Helena's family, because the family felt that he was a poor suitor to their daughter. So wanting to prove his worth, Bostock joined the rebellion of 1685 to fight alongside the Duke of Monmouth against King James II. But make good on himself Sir Bostock did not do, for unlucky Monmouth and his army were beaten by that of King James's, and the remains of Monmouth's army fled, if they could. And so Bostock, who was now a leaderless rebel, ran for home at Woodrow. The main issue a leaderless rebel has is his visibility. Bostock could no longer parade himself around his home as a titled sir could have paraded himself before hedging on the wrong bet. Luckily for him, he has a lady who loves him and a grotto on the grounds of her house. A grotto is a cave that is created naturally or artificially and is used by humans. In this case, it is one created as a garden feature on the grounds of Woodrow High House, and that is where Sir Bostock was secretly stuffed. Each day, Lady Helena would take food and drink to Bostock, looking around as she's journeying from the house as secretly as possible, hoping no one will spy her. Unfortunately, Lady Helena was spied by the King's men taking her journey from the house to the grotto, and one night while Bostock was alone, he was taken by the King's men and duly and dully executed. When Lady Helena discovered he was found through her, she took her own life by imbibing poison. This may have been a successful ploy to avoid the gallows or the striking of the axe. Now, forever after, she has been seen haunting the grounds and house. She floats along dressed in green, and emanates a ghostly green glow. She pays no heed to those who see her, but travels onwards on her lonely quest. It's sad to think that such sadness in this life could have superseded the spiritual movement of a soul, that this woman's lost love and life would doom her to walk the fated path that led to her lover's doom. And Lady Helena isn't alone in this, is she? A whole army's worth of grey, brown and white-clad ladies follow in her trail, causing terror as they coast along the corridors of stately homes. There is the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, Norfolk. She is Lady Dorothy Townshend, the second wife of the Marquess of Townshend and sister to the first of England's Prime Ministers, Robert Walpole. Her spirit is supposedly caught upon the stairwell in one of the most famous ghost photographs ever captured. Bury Pomeroy Castle in Devon has two wandering ladies, one who wears white and one who wears blue. The lady in white is thought to be Margaret Pomeroy, who was imprisoned in the castle dungeons by her jealous sister Eleanor. Margaret haunts the dungeons, while the blue lady has been seen roaming the castle. The blue lady's story is vague, but relates to tragedy in Norman times. Fyvie Castle in Aberdeenshire, Scotland has a green lady and gained a grey lady ghost after a secret room was discovered with a skeleton in it. The green lady is thought to be Dame Lolias Drummond, who died in 1601. Glamis Castle in Angus, Scotland, a place brimming full with the unquiet, has his own grey ladies, while Ballachush House in Scotland has a horse-mounted man who gallops up to the house, enters and disappears. There is also a phantom pot and pan rattler, as well as a scary, shadowy figure that moves through walls and corridors. Craves Castle in Banchory, Aberdeenshire has a lady in green who swoops to a fireplace to pick up a child and promptly disappears. Chambercombe Manor in Ilfracombe, North Devon has a grey lady who was accidentally murdered at the hands of her own father. As you can see, stately homes and manor houses always come with a pre-fitted swishing spectre. As the years grow, the attributions as to who those ghosts are changes and embellishes, but always tends to be rather thematic. Wronged wives and daughters who are locked up for loving a wrong 'un, or getting pregnant, or simply not being wanted. Priests who believe in something different to the reigning monarch are hidden away and forced to be forgotten. There are illegitimate children born of nobility and the maidens in servitude to them. And lastly, the hiding of the insane. They are simply walled in somewhere to starve and be forgotten about. Later, their skeletons are revealed when secret rooms are broken into and their stories are confirmed, speculated and told. These poor ladies and gents died in tragic ways, and now their spectres or impressions walk lonely paths among the living. If they are conscious of us, they are too driven by their own purpose to give us any heed. If they're somehow the environment playing back an event in time, then it is a mysterious and unknown mechanism. But the concept of stone tape theory is an incredibly difficult one to contemplate fully because the physics of it make no sense. The idea is that somehow any kind of environment can become a screen upon which a past event is imprinted, and then along comes the right type of person whose aura or mind is the perfect playhead to release the recording into our timeline, and so a paranormal event occurs. Stone tape phenomena can be a shared experience that only deepens the mystery of it. You can easily argue on the side of logic that tourists visiting such a place, such as the site of the Battle of Culloden in Scotland, can be prone to experiencing a dramatic replay of the terrible event because of their awareness of the site. An argument can then be made that the phenomenon was a shared hallucination brought about by the emotion of the site. But that argument is weaker for those individuals who experience such phenomena in somewhere unknown, mundane and possibly public. My own experience of this is of a shut-in in a pub where Sitting at the bar having a quiet drink, we heard the distinctive sound of the pool balls being broken and bouncing around on the pool table. When everyone turned round, the pool tables were not only empty, but stools were up on them and the balls were in the pockets. So, was a passed on pub patron having one more game of pool? Or was the sound of the game of pool somehow imprinted into the atmosphere and suddenly and inexplicably released? What do you think? Are residual hauntings lost ghosts, or are they mysterious replays of time? Tell me what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching.